Hi guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to have some Division 20 online ranked gameplay in the bantamweight division. And as a subscriber request from my guy Leo, shout out to Leo, always in the comment section, always supporting the videos and always helping out other subscribers. Great addition to our community, which I love to see. And that's one of the main things that I really like to see in the comment section, is when obviously everyone's enjoying the content, but everyone's helping each other out and offering suggestions, and that's really cool to see. And Leo's one of those subscribers that always does that, so shout out to Leo. And as requested, here's the Merab showcase. And now everyone knows what to expect with Merab. He had an absolutely phenomenal performance against Petr Yan, where he shot a ridiculous amount of takedowns. I think it was over 50, and yeah, a lot of them didn't go through, but it was just the sheer pressure of him constantly going for takedowns against an elite level fighter like Petr Yan, which ultimately got him the nod in the victory. And it's just great game planning from Ray Longo and his team, and you can see that with Merab and with Aljamain Sterling, they're doing a phenomenal job. And they've got a freak in Merab, to be honest with you. I mean, his gas tank is second to none. He's willing to go the extra mile and do the work. He's got the heart, and you know, he's relentless and he sticks to the script. And that's something that I really like about Merab, is that you can see that he has a game plan, he follows it to a T. That's something that I really like Aljamain Sterling, but I think that's something that he might skeeve off of occasionally, is the game plan. I can sometimes see it in his corner that they're not very happy with the way he approaches certain things, and maybe, you know, it does happen. At the end of the day, Aljamain Sterling's the fighter. When he's in the octagon, he has to do what he thinks is best, but I think Merab is absolutely phenomenal. And yeah, his styles are going to be very hard to beat, and it's going to be very interesting to see how he matches up against someone like Henry Cejudo, and someone with a really strong wrestling background. I think that's going to be the thing that really tests him. Someone maybe that's even very good at jiu-jitsu would cause him a lot of problems, but as it stands, I feel like he's going to be a problem for this division for a very long time. And what I want to showcase in this video here is, obviously I'm going to be showcasing how to use Merab, but this is going to be against elite level fighters. This is Division 20 with a lot of points, and showing you how realistically your fights are going to go when you're coming up against opponents that aren't just going to let you get every takedown, when you are going to have to be forced to stand with Merab at periods, or really mix in your game plan and look to diversify, but still ultimately look into relentless pressure, use that 100 cardio, 99 cardio, and get the victory. So that's something I want to showcase, because I've seen a lot of Merab showcases which are really good, and of course they show his takedowns and utilise everything, but it's against opponents that, you know, maybe aren't the best level and just let you get every takedown, which isn't going to be as realistic as when you're fighting the elite level fighters. So you can see here that I'm against the Sugar Sean. We're 1-1, beautiful roundhouse to the body there from Sugar, and we're 1-1 going into this. He's got a lot of skill points. I had a decent amount, I think, and it's just going to be good. Sorry, I meant division points, not skill points. That's FIFA. But yeah, it's just going to be a good showcase for you guys how to come up against a long, rangy, tall, elite striker, and someone that utilises him very well, mixes the attack to the midsection very well. And yeah, the diversity of attacks will cause a big problem, and I can see Sean O'Malley causing problems. If you're coming up against a good Sugar Sean that knows how to attack and use the teeps to the body, the roundhouses to the body, use the full range of arsenals of attacks, and got good takedown defense, cause a lot of issues, because Merab is on the shorter end of things, and you can see that it's giving me complications stepping into that range at the moment. And when using Merab, I really want to be on the inside, because of his height, and you can see there, this is not an ideal start. Doing phenomenal job piecing together the work to my body, but I'm going to stay patient and going to stay relentless. Still going to look to push the pace, and you can see starting to mix in the leg kicks here, and that's just because we're against Sugar Sean. We know that his leg health maybe isn't the best on the game. I feel like it's something that you can really attack. Good head movement there. Look how slick that was. He elbowed, and then after the elbow went straight to the body, which is great. He's against the cage here, and we get the power takedown. So I've always said that when I'm looking to grapple, I'm looking to utilise the fence a lot, because when you go against that octagon wall, it's very easy to get takedowns. You see, I shot a power takedown there because I saw his stamina was low, and I knew that it was going to be easy. But the worst comes to worst, I can clinch him, put him against the fence, and look to get a range of takedowns. You've got the judo throws and trips. You've got the single and double that you can shoot from there. You can take the back. You can drag them from the back and turn left or right. I think anyone that's looking to really elevate their grappling game that isn't finding success predominantly shooting when you're in the center of the octagon, you have to utilize the octagon wall, it is imperative that you use it, because these are very, very easy takedowns for you to get, and transitions that are incredibly difficult for your opponent to die, and it's incredibly tiring, especially when you partner with Merab's cardio and you're always pushing the pace, pushing them along the fence. They're going to keep swaying left or right. You can throw the roundhouses to cut them off, and leg kicks, hooks, and keep them stationary, and once they're against there, bang, shoot the takedown. And it's going to be incredibly annoying for your opponent to keep having to stuff those takedowns. It's going to be incredibly frustrating, because as difficult as it is, and then you partner it with relentless pressure, it's just going to be incredibly difficult. But you can see here that this Sugar Sean is very good. He's doing all the right things, you know, working the body very well, which is exactly what you've got to do. Throwing shots up the middle, which is great at preventing takedowns, because obviously if you don't want to get clipped with an uppercut or caught with a teep or a knee, because that can really drastically impact the fight. And you can see in the clinches, the knees to the body, push him against the fence there. Good utilisation of Merab's boxing, double uppercut there to the body, and I'm really trying to tax that body now. He's done a good job of hurting mine, so now that's exactly what I'm going to look to do to him as well, just so when we do get on the ground, it's going to be easier to make those transition passes. I'm also going to start to look to sneak in stuff towards the leg. You see it, push him to the cage there, go for the roundhouse, which doesn't work. He goes for the head kick, which was a good block. And it's been a very competitive fight. I do think that Sugar Sean's had the upper hand, and bang, beautiful knee that gets his second stun of that round there. So good work there from Sugar Sean. Can't fault it. And then he starts off by taunting, which is a bit strange. There's still a long way to go in this fight, and you know, little things like that can really really motivate your opponent. So I wouldn't recommend taunting unless you feel like you're definitely gonna coast to a victory. And who knows, maybe he did, but he definitely taunted potentially a little bit too soon. So we've got a good stun there, and he's mixing in the combos very well. As you can see, he's timing it well when I'm going to the body, but I'm not really letting put me off. There's 2 more rounds, well 3 technically, because we're in this one now, to work with. And when you're against Merab, who has relentless cardio, that means the job's not done. As Kobe said, the job is far from done, and to be, you know, in a 5-round fight, be midway through basically, and taunting when you've got a long way to go and you haven't even been dragged into those championship rounds or those deep waters, and you're taunting this, you know, all credit to him. That's a Sugar Sean thing to do, but it didn't really impact me too much, because it just made me smile, because I thought, yep, you know, I'm going to take this into deep waters, and I'm going to drag this into very uncomfortable places where you don't want to be. And this is what you've got to do. Even though he's finding success and fighting a good fight, he's getting the more stuns, he's doing the more damage with the strikes, doing a good job with denying some of the takedowns and getting back to the feet. So he is having a good fight. There is nothing wrong with the way he's approaching it, but the relentless pressure and the constant utilization of mixing in different strikes, head movement now is coming into it, working the body. See a good knee there as he's swaying back, catching the roundhouses, and he's just picking up on these little combinations that's really gonna change the fight. And you guys watching this right now may be thinking, what is going on? Because this is not a Merab showcase that I was expecting, but this is what happens when you're coming up against guys that are really good. And you get the knockdown here, he's got no stamina, take his back here, I believe, yep, jump on his back, and yet he eventually decides to get here. So you see how it can twist really quickly. He's been having a very good fight, and then we get the stun to the head, we drop him from the midsection, and now I'm in my best position here. I'm on his back, on the ground, where I can just look to go to top mount, rain down some strikes. And it's little key moments in fights that can really dictate how the rest of the fight is going to go, and that's going to be a very big turning point for this fight here. And good job there in stuffing the armbar twice. That was very good work from Sugar Sean there. But I'm just going to look to maintain position. This round is mine as far as I'm concerned, but if we can look to do a little bit more damage here by posturing up, I'm just going to look to rain down these strikes. And you can see good work there, managed to get a few in and just drain that head health a little bit more. Obviously we got the stun earlier on the feet, which came from the head health and then the body, which is a good sign. So going into the next round, it might be a bit easier to work my striking, because he's going to be preoccupied with not getting stunned. And now that his head health and body health seem a little bit lower, he's more likely to make a mistake. So you can see he's very aggressive coming into round 4, and that's exactly how he's got to be after a strong end to round 3 from myself with a knockdown and then controlling him on the ground. And I am going to look to get those takedowns back into the game. But I've got to time them right because doing a good job. You see there that beautiful little flying knee that you tried to slip in there. But I'm going to be patient. You can see now he's pressuring me. So it went from me pressuring him to having a very good close to that round, and now him wanting to push the pace and pressure me and see if he can potentially finish the fight. But caught the kick, take him to the cage, and we get another takedown. So this is where the cage takedowns come in clutch. And now that his stamina's a bit lower, it's going to be slightly easier to work against him here. So hitting the midsection, I'm going to look to control him here. Good little deny, and I'm just going to look to keep him on the ground as much as possible, and he hits a clean reversal. So now he can look to do the same thing. If he really wanted to, he can stay on top here, build GA, look to rain down some strikes, but he opts to get up, which probably is the smarter thing for him to do, is keep it on the feet. However, when you're in a position like that where you can potentially run away a bit of the clock and build up some damage of your own, I potentially would have looked to explore that, but I understand the need to get up. He doesn't want to get reversed and end up in a worse position. And on the feet, he is doing good work. He did get caught the last round, but ultimately still doing a good job on the feet. But you can see, although he's being aggressive, he's being a lot more tentative. He doesn't really want to strike as much as he was per se in the first couple rounds, and obviously there's a lot of reasons to that. The stamina level is not going to be the same. I'm starting to pick up on some of the strikes, but also the end of the last round has definitely left an impression that, you know, he's there for the taking. He can get caught as well as I can get caught, and you can see he's mixing in these knees now, which, because Sugar Sean's so rangy, them knees, they can just land a little bit of a distance where I can't actually catch him. And it's a very good adjustment from him to mix in these knees. And you can see he's mixing it in again, and it's going to be very taxing. But I'm staying patient. I'm still pushing the pace. Go for a leg kick there, and he lands the roundhouse, which is clean. And hit him with a beautiful cross there, which stuns him. So that's a stun for this round. And now I'm going to be a little bit more patient. You can see I'm mixing in the leg attacks now, trying to give him a different look. Go for the teep, which doesn't land, and he goes for the head kick. And I feel like right now he feels like the fight is starting to slip away from him a little bit. Normally when people start resorting to throwing a lot of knees and then mixing in, obviously eventually the next step would probably be the elbows, but when they start mixing a lot of knees like this, it's normally a sign that they think the fight's slipping away from them. Goes for a big shot there, which doesn't land. Good roundhouse to the body, and the pressure's starting to come in here. Shoot another takedown, and we get it with the final 20 seconds to go. So the takedown attempts are coming easier and easier now. Obviously he's going to be more fatigued, but this is what you've got to do. You've got to go through the fire sometimes, and Merab does have the heart to do so. And this is against Sugar Sean, who has obviously got power, got a very good range of arsenal in his striking, both kicking and boxing. But yeah, so coming into round 5 here, I believe this could be anyone's fight. I ultimately want to get the finish, and that's exactly what I'm going to look to do. I never come into a fight looking for a decision win. I always would like to get the finish. I've still got to be careful because he poses a threat. You can see strikes are still super fast. Get the stun there. Shoot for a takedown. Fantastic sprawl. Very, very good sprawl. Very reminiscent of the sprawl that Sugar hit on Petr Yan in the third round. That was a very good sprawl, and that's what I'm saying about these high-level fighters. It's not going to be every takedown, you know, that you shoot, you get. And it's things like this that show how high of elite level fighter you are. That in the 5th round with no stamina, an unorthodox shot has come your way and you're able to sprawl it. It's very, very impressive. But I do feel like right now I'm in the driving seat of this fight. Even though I'm getting pressured, he's walking into a lot of these strikes. And I don't feel like he's comfortable right now in actually pressuring this much. But feels that he has to do so because the fight is slipping away. So right now we're forcing him to these exchanges. Now we're ripping that leg. I mean, that leg kick caused a big reaction. There comes the spinning elbow, which is normally the next step from the knees. Shoot a takedown. Great shot selection. Mixed it in very well, and now we're on top. And this is the 5th and final round. It's going to look to build up GA, posture up, and look to rain down some strikes. He's got me in full guard, which is always a dangerous position. You've always got to be cautious because it doesn't matter who you're up against. If they're good with submissions, they can always catch you with something. Good deny there, and he gets me in a guillotine here. So now this is a very good attempt because I have no stamina, he has no stamina. It's going to get him that control time that he needs. As you can see, I am escaping. However, what he messes up with here is that he must have forgot that right about now there's always the reversal, and once you hit this reversal very late into round 5 with someone like Merab, and you don't have the best submission defense and you're panicking, it's not going to go well. So you can see here, end up going to get the submission finish here based off the reversal, and I believe he just rage quit straight away. So I think that was a good fight to showcase. It was definitely showcases some adversity. It's a shame that he didn't end up quitting, but nevertheless, that is what happens. And now we're coming up against Petr Yan, and now Yan is phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal in real life, and incredibly good on the game. Didn't mean to taunt him and to show respect. I think I back away and do it. Yeah, definitely did not mean to taunt him there. But Yan is just so good. I mean, there's not an avenue you can go in that Yan isn't good. If you wanted to wrestle and just grapple someone with Petr Yan, the elite in the division, you could easily do it. That's how good this man is. And with the Osagari chip as well, it causes a lot of problems. So yeah, you can see very aggressive. He knows that I'm going to look to utilise the clinch, and he's doing a good job when I'm getting in there, throwing them hooks instantly to drain my head health, get the takedown early. And I'm just going to look to build off of this. Obviously, it's round 1, so I need to see really what style of play that Petr Yan's going to look to use. I'm assuming he's going to be uber aggressive and work the boxing really well, but it's mainly to see what he does on the ground and how competent he is on the ground right now. Of course, he's got a lot of skill points, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the ground is strong point. You can see he's faking a lot of these transitions, which is the exact right thing to do. But I'm just going to look to remain calm. One of the mistakes that I'm already seeing is to throw in with his left hand here that should be grabbing the back of the head, which will give me a free posture up, and I can rain down some strikes. And this is not necessarily what you want to do with Merab on top of you. If you're letting me posture up for free when you're wasting your own stamina, it's not ideal. It's just going to give me a huge advantage, and we're already on the ground. You don't want to be giving any advantages to Merab that you can. So you can see good work in denying here, whittling away the elbows. I'm mixing in the knees here because, of course, it's a 5-round fight, and I know that it can go the full 5 rounds. So I know I've got faith in my cardio. I know that I can whittle away here and damage body health, damage head health, and also just look to waste some stamina and keep him guessing. You see that I transitioned to top mount here, which is something that I don't even usually do. Get the deny here, which was a big deny, but I'm just doing this for the pure purpose of keeping Yan guessing, because if I constantly go to side control, it's going to get easier and easier for him to pick up on that habit and start denying it. And even though I do my best work from side control, you can still do very good work from top mount. It is an extremely dominant position, and you can see here very good shot selections. Yan basically had no stamina there, and we whittled away his head health pretty well. And it's been a very strong start to round 1 here, and you can see that with Merab I utilise a lot of ground and pound, and that's to make up for his submissions not being the greatest. You've got to really look to implement a more ground and pound approach, and then once they have low stamina, that's when you shoot for it. And you can see very good job here of mixing up the ground and pound, keeping him guessing, posturing up again, and going for more shots, more damage. And this has been an incredibly big round 1. And this is not something that you always see fighting Petr Yan, just because of how dominant he is. And normally people that utilise him are very good at stopping the fight from getting to the ground. So yeah, it's a very good way to obviously start round 1, very dominant, and hopefully more of the same to continue across the rest of the fight. But of course with Yan, it's just the threat of everything. You can never get complacent when fighting Petr Yan, especially someone that's obviously in the higher division and a good skill level. You've got to be very careful, and he still is one of my favourite fighters to use on the game. I know of course he is a bit broken, and it's sort of like using a Robert Whittaker. He is broken, but I do really enjoy using him because he does feel really fluid, and that's one thing I don't enjoy about using Merab, to be honest with you. He does feel very stiff. Admittedly so, he felt better these 2 times I was using him than the times beforehand. The comment to Leo where he suggested the video, I did say, look, I will use him, but I do feel like Merab's a bit stiff. Admittedly, he did feel a lot better to utilise in these 2 fights here, and yeah, I enjoyed using him a bit more. I would say he still wouldn't be my go-to in the division. He does pose a very strong threat wrestling-wise, but I feel like although I got the submission victory in the first, his submissions aren't the greatest, and I feel like if you're someone that utilises a lot of ground and pound, which is an avenue that I am trying to explore more of, he's definitely a more viable option. But the problem I've encountered when coming up against Merab players online is they're very content to just lay on top of you and see out a decision. It doesn't matter if it's 3 rounds or 5 rounds, and I think it's giving Merab players a lot of bad names. And I feel like in our community as a whole, that's the general consensus of what grappling is. It's just laying on top of someone, when in reality, what I try to showcase and a lot of other content creators try to showcase is what grappling actually is looking for finishes and not just laying on top of people, and whether that's ground and pound and submission. And I feel like if you are using Merab, you really should stick to that. I do not try to spam the takedowns excessively, although that is his style in real life, so you can't really fault somebody that's trying to utilise him in that manner, because that is exactly what he does. That's what he did in the Yan fight. He shoots for a lot of takedowns, and that's exactly what he does. But I try not to do that because it is a little bit toxic. I came up against someone, I probably will upload the video after I get another Yan gameplay, and it's where I was using Petr Yan, and coming up against the Merab, it was just constantly cancelling the double and getting my back, cancelling double, getting my back. And unfortunately those players do find success against a lot of the players, and they rack up a lot of skill points, but they're not really developing any sort of skill. They're just looking to cheese their way through it. But you can see this is why you can't get complacent with Yan. I've been knocked down, he's having success. One thing I am finding though is the flurry of combinations, he still throws them even when I'm stepping back, and he's just hitting air, which is something that I was drawing confidence from, because I know that going into the deeper waters, it's going to be harder for him to maintain that pace, and if he's missing these strikes, it's going to be very, very difficult to recover his stamina, especially going into the later rounds. And like I said, I like taking fights into these deep waters. I like trying to drown my opponents, and there's no better feeling than knowing you've broken an opponent so bad on the ground that even when he gets to the feet and that's their stronger avenue, there's not much for them to do here. And you see that Yan shoots for a takedown. That's what I'm saying. You've got to expect the unexpected with Petr Yan, just because of how versatile he is. Good job of stuffing it there. Great leg kick, and you can see that that's something that I actually enjoy doing quite a lot, is obviously the leg kicks. But with Merab, I noticed that his leg kicks are actually pretty decent. They come out at a good speed, and it catches a lot of people off guard. Again, take him to the cage here. Tried to get the takedown. That was good work from Yan there in denying, but I'm going to stay patient. I've got to be careful because obviously I was dropped in the round prior, and you can see that my block is it's just shrinking. It's just going down and down, and Yan is finding success in denying the takedowns now. So I've got to change my approach a bit. As you see, I shoot for another takedown. I've got to either work my way into the takedown better, or work it as his mid combo. Good switch kick there, or just find a way. And you see good utilization of movement from Yan in getting away from the takedown. So it just goes to show you, round 1, very, very, very dominant round. Round 2, Yan's made the adjustments and come out and won the round and got the knockdown. And round 3, as it goes, I've not landed any sort of takedowns, denied his takedown, but he's having the better of the exchanges on the feet and moving very, very well. And this is what elite level players do. They can adjust mid-fight, and via these adjustments can make the fight a lot more difficult. So get the stun here, and this switch kick is landing now, and it's landing well. So get him here, drag him to the fence, take his back here, drag him straight down. So that was a very good transition. That was a very good passage of play there from myself. Obviously the switch kick landing is going to be huge, because I still don't think people utilize switch kicks correctly and don't realize how good they actually are. It really drains your opponent's stamina, and they're landing that consistently is just going to open up that shot to the head. So it's definitely something that I look to utilize, and then from that obviously managed to get the takedown. So it's a good turning point for this round here, in which Yan was having a very, very good round, stuffing a lot of the takedowns, doing a very good job on the feet, and then obviously his adjustments working very well. I've adjusted to use the switch kick, and the switch kick has paid off in dividends there, and then I managed to get the takedown as well. Now that we're back to the feet, good movement there to not find myself isolated against the cage. great roundhouse to the body, and now I'm really going to start to work that body. It's the third round, we're going into championship rounds. You can see his head health isn't in the greatest position now. Being patient, get the knockdown, drop him, and go to finish it. And this is what I like about elite level fights. It's just micro adjustments can really change the way the fight plays out. He was having a very strong start to this round, doing very good work. Get the knockdown, get the stun, get the takedown. All of a sudden the momentum's really shifted, and now it's going to be his job in the fourth to really try to get that momentum back, because as it stands on the judges' scorecards, it'll probably be 2-1. Switch kick lands there, which was just beautiful, and feeling good on the feet. Can't get over ego, because Yan is far better on the feet. As you can see, switch stance here, nice switch stance to land the roundhouse to the body, shoot the takedown. Very good job in denying. Goes for the knee to the head, which we block. 2 to the body, 1 to the head, and he somehow drags me all the way to the cage. And I was quite interested to see what he was going to do here, because if I was in his position, I'd probably look for the takedown and look to rack up some control, but he opts to disengage, which is completely fine. As you see, fighting out of a southpaw stance here, and the thought process behind this is I just want to get that roundhouse off to the body. Was landing the switch kick very well, but I thought mixing up with a roundhouse would probably be the best bet right about now, because I didn't want to get it too predictable. See head movement there, go to get the roundhouse. He does a good job in catching it, and then he goes to the head. Obviously try to return to the body, which is, now that we're in these rounds, I know his head health isn't in the best position. I'm still going to look to rip away at that body health, because ultimately that's what's going to win me the fight. Shoot another takedown. Again, that was a very good point of shooting the takedown. It was a good entry. Good turning takedown, get him on the ground here, and we've got 2 minutes and 40 seconds to work with, which is very good time. It's going to allow me to do a lot of good work, potentially, and just sit on top of it, zap away some stamina, advance position, and in these positions look to inflict as much damage as possible. But I hope this is showing to you how Merab will actually be utilised against these elite level fighters. It's not going to be plain sailing. You're not just going to get the takedowns at will. You're going to have to push through adversity, battle through some challenging moments, but keep persevering, and the takedowns will come. You can use his hands and to set up takedowns. You can get stuns with him. However, with how many elite strikers are in this division, in order to be successful on the feet, you'll have to be solid on the ground and whittle away at the head health and body. But just while this is playing out, I just want to say a huge thank you to all you guys for subscribing and liking the content. It does mean a lot. We're building our own little community, and I'm really enjoying seeing this. I can't wait to see where this channel goes in the future, and I'm just happy that you guys are enjoying the content. It means a lot, because I do make these videos for fun, and I try to be as informative as possible, and I try and make gameplay that you guys will actually enjoy. So yeah, if you do enjoy the videos, don't forget to leave a like, and if you do want to see more UFC content, please subscribe. I am going to look to get to streaming. I've decided in a couple weeks that I'm going to start setting a regular schedule for streaming, so look out to that. I'm going on holiday, which is why I'm not implementing this before holiday, but yeah, look forward to that. I am going to start streaming. I do want to play all of you guys, not so much just show ranked games. I want you guys to get in there, get some good rounds in, and just have fun. So like I said, subscribe if you want to see more UFC 4 content, and again, I just appreciate all the support. And now coming into the fifth, that was another very good round. Right now I feel like this Yan's not in a great position. I mean, look at that switch, bang, and his stamina's instantly highlighted there. So I know I'm in a very good position here. You see, I'm a great look at Yan's posture right here. He's broken. He's a little bit broken. Still trying to fight back, but I know he's not in a good position. Really mixing up the combinations here. Switch kick, bang, drop him, and I think that's all she wrote. So I just want to say a huge thank you to Leo for the suggestion. A huge thank you to all you guys for the support, and I'll catch you next time. Thank you.